Mino Kiji Bawaga. Good morning, friends. This is Chief Little Eagle here, and I am on First Nation Eagle Village, also known as Kebuek First Nation. First thing, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I do 600 crunches, I do some push-ups and that. Let's get the day beginning. A scientific fact, you need to get your blood pumping, you need oxygen in your blood. So that's why working out first thing in the morning is a great way to start your day. Because what it does is gets oxygen flowing in your blood and then gets your body waking up and going for the day. After my workout, this is a native's bath. I got the biggest bathtub in the world, my friends. So this is where you can naturally wash, have your shower, get refreshed after your good old workout. And this is how we do it, friends. Whew. You gotta breathe, friends. It's probably 42 degrees. She's cold. We just gonna have breakfast here, and we try to do it the most natural way, living off the land. The menu today is gonna be fresh moose. So I'm gonna show you how to prepare the moose steak for the morning. This is actually right here, last year's cow. So best way to prepare your moose meat is actually wrap it in saran wrap, and you want to take out all the air, and then you wrap it with butcher wrap paper. And that there, your meat's good for 1 to 2 years in the freezer. So this is fresh, lean moose meat. The only spices you need for wild game meat is pepper, salt, and garlic powder. That is it. What you want to end up doing is cutting your moose meat into very thin slices. Just like that. Just nice and thin. Alright, look at this beautiful day. We got some butter here. Life, friends, do not get any better than this right now. You got the most nutritious wild game meat that you can get. This is what I tried to eat 365 days a year, is wild game meat that I get with my own hands, out in the forest, out in Mother Nature. So after 20 minutes of sweating and getting bit by bugs like crazy, bon appetit. We have eggs, high in protein, cow mousse, very high in protein, some natural cheese curds, and some homemade bread. This is as natural as you can get. So this is the only way, the right way, the native way to be living. We're gonna talk about my favorite weapon I personally love to use when I'm out enjoying Mother Nature and providing food for my family. It is the compound bow. Our traditional bow is actually the recurve bow. But when I suggest that you start out hunting or practicing, I suggest starting with a compound bow. And the reason for that is for making sure it's ethical, and that when you do decide to take an animal's life, you're gonna end up taking it in one shot and making sure that the animal does not suffer. It is very important that you have perfect shot when you do decide to shoot, and that you make sure the animal does not suffer. So I have shot wild boar and moose with my compound bow. This bow here shoots 350 feet per second. You start off at 60 pounds pressure for pullback. The more pressure you have, the harder your arrow and farther your arrow's gonna go. So you will find when you start shooting arrows that it's specific on what kind of arrow you're using Everything is critical on how straight your arrow goes, how far it goes, and how fast it goes. So I like using these Maxima Red 350, and I use 100 grain broadheads. So this broadhead is actually a turkey broadhead. And so it shoots like this, and when it hits the animal, these blades open up. So this is a mechanical broadhead. This one, which is another mechanical broadhead, same style. When it hits the animal, it opens up these blades. But if you notice, it's actually a little fixed blade. And the difference between a fixed blade and a mechanical blade is a fixed blade, the blades don't move. They are stationary, as you can see on the tip here. So this is for big game. This will leave an 1.75 inch opening in your big game animal. Do not shoot anything over 60 yards. And that's being ethical to you and the animal. It could deflect off the target, and instead of hitting in the sweet spot, it could end up just injuring the animal. So this, friends, is a small game broadhead. This actually hits off of rocks and trees and doesn't do much damage to the arrow itself. So this, I have found, is the best small game broadhead. Any small game animal, this is the broadhead to use, friends. Hunted for greatness, the native ways. So most don't know about this, but the bald eagle in the indigenous culture is a very sacred bird. A bald eagle is the only bird that can fly the highest in the sky. That's actually one of its defenses. If it's getting bothered by any bird in that, it doesn't get frustrated. It doesn't do anything else except fly high in the sky to the point that the other birds cannot fly to. It's also the strongest bird. So it can end up damaging and destroying the other birds, but it just decides to not waste the energy and just flies as high as it can. So the scientific fact behind an eagle feather is because they can fly so high, they actually attach positive ions on the feather. So when you see indigenous smudging down their body, all human bodies actually attract negative ions. And you don't want negative ions. It's actually negative energy. So when you are actually swiping your body with the bald eagle feather, you're actually getting rid of all the negative ions and you're putting positive ions. And being that I represent in the human form an eagle, this is very important to me and very to my heart.